Our tale begins with a cow who had human teeth. He was known throughout the lands as Baked Goods. Baked Goods was an extraordinary cow, for he could play the sacred game of Unmatched. One day, the Council of Unmatched decided to give him the honor of the card convo, allowing him to have conversations about specific cards. For a while, all was well as Baked Goods created card convos, until one day. The evil beings known as life and responsibilities came and attacked him. He tried to resist, but they were too strong. Sadly, Baked Goods lost, and ever since that day, people have not had a card convo. Until today, I, Iggy, have decided to take the card convo into my own hands and do it myself. The world needed a hero, but Baked Goods was defeated. So I've decided to try and take up the mantle of card convoer in hope that I can inspire Baked Goods to return as the hero we all need.
Hello. Welcome back to another Unmatched video. So today we're going to be looking at the card Marksman for Winter Soldier's deck as a card convo, which this type of video idea was created by Baked Goods, and I am doing one myself. Baked Goods, if you happen to be watching this and you don't want me making a video about card combos, let me know in the comments. I'll delete the video. Alright, so getting into the video, what I'm going to be doing with this card. So first, let's look at the card. Marksman, it's a 1-value attack for Winter Soldier, 1 boost. And its effect is, this card's worth +1 for every space between you and the opposing fighter along the shortest path. So basically this card is very bad most of the time in Winter Soldier's deck. It has a few good use cases, so what we're going to be doing pretty much is looking at every map and seeing what's the biggest this card can become on every single map. So let's get into it. So we're in the Unmatched Club here, looking at all the different maps. So let's just start. So first map is McMinnville. Okay, so McMinnville has the biggest zone you're going to be finding is just 3 spaces in between. So you can see in this blue zone here we have 3 spaces between both, so that would be a 4-value card. Or over here in the orange you can see there's 3 spaces between both points, so it's the biggest you're going to be able to get on McMinnville is a 4-value Marksman. The next map we have is Point Pleasant. So Point Pleasant, weird one. A lot of the zones are kind of clumped, they're not long spreading out zones. So the biggest one we're going to have here is if you go from this tan zone over here to this one, and it's going to have 4 spaces in between, making it a 5-value attack. So that's the biggest value you're going to be able to get out of Marksman and Point Pleasant. Alright, so the next one is Baskerville Manor. So Baskerville Manor has this long gray zone at the bottom, which is really nice for Marksman. So if you're over here and your opponent's over here, you're going to get pretty big. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between is your biggest stretch, which with having 5 in between, that's a 6-value Marksman. That becomes a good card at that point, and you can do it from across the board. That's a pretty useful map for being able to do it with Winter Soldier if an opponent's either camping over here or if they're trying to hide in the corner there. But chances are most time opponents are going to be playing around this, but Baskerville Manor is one of the better maps for Marksman. Okay, so next we have Fairyland Forest, one of the Witcher maps. This one has this weird blue zone that goes up and around to the side. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 in between, making it a 5-value attack, which is pretty decent. Alright, next up we have the Globe Theater. So the Globe Theater, it's weird. It's got these orange zones here that connect out here, as well as the purple that connect out here, and this dark bluish green that connect out here. So it's got some weird gaps. It makes it an interesting map. So if we look at the orange one that's out here, there's 3 it could be along to this one. If we look at the orange one, it's the same thing with the blue. It could be over here. We could have 3 in between. If we're looking at purple, there's just 2 in between, so it's not good. So the most you're in on this map is a 4-value Marksman. Hayden Gardens. This one's got all these light greens out here, as well as the long path of dark greens, which are gonna work well for Marksman. So if you do light green in the center out to way out here, you can have a total of 4 space in between, making a 5 attack, which is pretty decent. And if you're up here in the dark green and your opponent's down here, you can have 5 spaces in between, making it a 6 attack. So that's another great spot for using Marksman with Winter Soldier. Hanging Gardens in general is just a pretty good map for Winter Soldier. Alright, next up we have Helicarrier. Helicarrier's got this big purple zone. So if you stand over here, your opponent's out here, you've got 5 spaces in between, making it be a 6 attack. Helicarrier is a set that Winter Soldier comes with in King Country. It's a really good one for him, for Marksman. Hell's Kitchen is a bit of a weird one also with the disconnecting zones with the light blue here that connect out here. So being able to have 3 spaces in between here to here, or being able to have 3 spaces connecting here to here. So if you're in any of these blue zones and your opponent's out here, that's a 4 value attack for Marksman, which is pretty good. Next is Kaer Morhen, another one of the Witcher maps. So this one's got a lot of 4 zones, 3 zones, so it's kind of a, I don't know, it's a weird map in general for ranged characters. But being able to have this big bar of dark green at the top lets you get 5 in between you and your opponent, making it an easy 6 attack. Well, not easy, but making it be able to be a 6 attack, which is pretty big. But there's also this light blue up here and this light blue down here, which can allow it to be up to a 5 spaces in between, which also makes it a 6 attack. So going from here to here, there's 5 spaces in between. So that's another cool spot. Memorial is also another one that's really good for ranged fighters with a lot of these tri-zones. So with Memorial, you've got all these different disconnects. So like here, you can connect all the way back to here, which is a huge thing for Marksman. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to connect to it. So that makes it a 7 attack if you can get to this point and your opponent's here, or vice versa, which is huge. That's a good one for Winter Soldier as well, or just good map for ranged fighters, being able to attack all over the place. Then we also have Naglfar, which is also another Witcher map. This one doesn't have wide spreading zones because it's kind of like 2 maps in one. So you can go from purple to purple over here, which is going to be 3 in between, making it a 4 attack. Or you can also go from pink here across, which I'm 4 in between, making it a 5 attack. So that's going to be your best. But overall, this map, it'll be harder because it's a more close quarters map. Alright, next we have Navy Pier, which has this long orange zone, which looks like it should be really long, but it's actually pretty short to get between from orange to orange, which only 3 here. So that only is 4 attack. But then you also see there's this orange one on top of the Ferris wheel, which is a weird one because that makes it be able to be 5 in between, which makes it a 6 attack. So, but that, for this one, Navy Pier, it's a weird one because of this Ferris wheel spot. If you're there though, your opponent's on the other side, it can be a 6 attack. It's pretty good. Next we have Sanctum Sanctorum. This is a very close quarters map, good for characters who are melee most of the time. Not a lot of big zones. We have the tan zone here, which can have 2 in between here, or 3 if you go over here, making it a 4 attack, which is the biggest most likely. But there's also this red one, which I forgot about, which actually you get 3 in between as well, so that's also 4 attack. So overall not great for ranged fighters in general. Next we have Santa's Workshop, one of the newer maps. This is a interesting one. You have the red here which only lets you get 2 in between, even though it looks like it'd be farther. Then you have the tan here, which is a huge gap. Being able to have 5 in between makes it a 6 attack. So that's huge. So Santa's Workshop basically get a 6 as well. And then you have Sarpedon. This map has this long purple zone, which lets you be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in between, and letting it get a 7 attack, which is a huge attack. Most likely your opponent's going to be trying to play around that because of it. But if you can manage to get them in this position or here, it's worth boosting to be able to get a 7 attack off. Then we have Soho, the infamous map for ranged fighters. But for Marksman, it's not that great. You have this white here, which lets you get 4 in between, making it a 5 attack. As well as you have these darker reddish color, dark orange color, which only lets you get 3 in between, even though it looks pretty long. It's only 3 in between, letting you get 4 attack. Next we have the Streets of Novigrad, which is another map from the Witcher set. This map also is more of a clumped up zone map, not a lot of big space in between the zones. So you have this green here, which looks like it's like the biggest zone, but there's only 2 spaces in between, so that's only letting you get a 3 attack. And then you have the orange as well. It almost looks like it could, but it's also only 2 attacks. Same with the yellow, or a +2. So no matter where you go on this map, you're only getting a +2 to this card. So this card will always be worth just a 3 on this map at the most. Really bad card on this map. Next we have Sunnydale High, one of the Buffy maps. You have this long red zone is the first thing you probably noticed, which having 4 in between makes it a 5 attack. Then you also have this yellow, which looks a little longer than it is, but it's actually not. It only makes it a 4. So it only makes it a 4 attack. So this one you're gonna want to be going for this red gap here, making it a 5. Next we have the bronze, which is the other Buffy map. So here we have this dark green path at the bottom. Then you get 5 in between, making it a 6 attack, which is pretty good. You also have this light green path up here, which even though it looks longer, you can get 4 in between. So that still lets you get a 5 attack, pretty decent. Then you also have this weird purple zone, which has this weird corridor to get around. So to actually get around, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 to get here. So that's still a 5 attack. If you wanted to get over here, it's still 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 5 attack in the purple. Next we have the raft. The raft has this straight line of orange. This is the first thing you probably notice, which makes it a 4 attack. Going straight across. And the raft overall isn't great for Marksman because it's got a lot of either short zones or zones that are all the space are either really close together, like the center gray here. So the biggest you're going to get is from orange to orange here, making it a 4 attack. Then we have Venice, another one from the Battle Items Volume 3. Venice is really weird with all these corridors and stuff. It's got this light blue that can reach all the way out here, which makes it, if you come from over here, it makes it be able to have 4 in between. So that makes it a 5 attack. And then if you go from up here and here, you get 3 in between only. So it's a really weird map. It's really tangly, confusing almost. But for Marksman, you're gonna get a 4 attack. I'll get a 4 attack in between on that one. Next we have Azuchi's Castle, which is the Sun's Origin map. It's got these weird red zones split off from the rest of the red out here. So that's really cool for Marksman, allowing you to sit over here and have an opponent over there. Makes it a really big attack, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in between, and then you get a 7. If you go out here though, it's even further, which lets you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in between, and then you get an 8 attack. As well as going to here, so an 8 in between, so that's the shortest you're going to get is a 7. So here to here lets you get an 8 attack with Marksman, which is huge. One of the biggest ones so far. Then we have Harriet, which is a tighter map with the doors and stuff, so it's weird with how ranged fighters can work. But overall, we got this yellow that goes all the way from here to here. Both these paths letting you get 3 in between, making it a 4 attack. Then you also have this dark blue, which lets you get 4 in between, which is actually the fastest, or the longest, even though it doesn't look quite as long as the yellow. So that lets you get a 5 attack off on Harriet. Then we have King Solomon's Mine, which this is the map for Marksman. Because secret passages don't count for moving through spaces for Marksman, you can be out here or out here with Winter Soldier and have an opponent in one of these spaces. And the shortest path is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in between. Then you get a 10 attack easy. Here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you get an 11 attack if you're out here. This map is the map for Marksman with the Winter Soldier. If your opponent's ever trying to camp in this corner, you can get out here and get a free 11 attack, which is insane. Insane value. You never see attacks that big. But most of the time, if you're playing on King Solomon's Mine, your opponent's going to not want to be sitting in this corner, which is actually helpful for you not letting them camp in the corner. Next, we have Raptor Paddock, which is also a tighter map. It's got this big brown zone, but they're all pretty close, so it's not really worth it in there. But then you got this blue one out here that's far off from the rest. Then you get 4 in between. making it a 5 attack, which is pretty good. Then we have Sherwood Forest. It's got all these long corridors, which they might look long. It's yellow in here, which yellow is the biggest, letting you get 5 in between, making it a 6 attack. But all the other corridors are actually surprisingly short, even though they look long. But 5 in between getting 6 attack is a great value for Marksman. Then we have T-Rex Paddock, which is a weird one. You got these gray here and here to actually get 4 in between. But that's what it looked like at first when you look at it, but there's actually only 3 in between because of this shorter path. So on this map, you're actually wanting to go for this, whatever this is, that tan colorish to here. Then you get 3 in between at least, which I guess is the same as this actually. So tan or gray, both have 3 in between. Then you get to a 4 attack. Then we have Yukon and the Yukon 1900s, which is the new updated version of Yukon. If you're playing with the old Yukon, you got these grays here that lead all the way out here, which is huge value because you can go here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is huge. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over here. So being able to get 8 in between lets you be able to be worth a 9, which is huge. And yeah, just overall being able to get a 9 value Marksman is huge. But now they're introducing for tournament play the new Yukon map. It will be replacing the old Yukon, so this map won't come into play for tournament play. This will still be used for casual. But now with the new Yukon map, you can't do that because there's this gap here and this gap here, making it so that now when you do go from here to here, it's only a 1 space. So if you want to go out here, it's only 2 in between, or 3 in between if you go the longer way for this one. So now you're actually wanting to look at this yellow zone here, which lets you be able to get 4 in between here and here. So that makes it a 5 attack. So the new Yukon map is better in every way, but not for Marksman card with Winter Soldier, but that's fine. You're not going to play on Yukon for the most part anyways. Well, that's all the maps with Winter Soldier Marksman. So let me know what you think. Let me know if I got anything wrong. There's a very likely chance I could have got something wrong on some maps. Let me know if I did. And thanks for watching. And if you'd like to see more of these types of videos, then subscribe. Thanks. See you next time.